Hey y'all, welcome back to episode 15 of my Satisfactory Update 5 playthrough. And on this episode, we are going to be diving into some more of the Tier 7 milestones. We still have to unlock Hazmat Suit and Aeronautical Engineering. That's our plan for today. As well as we're going to try to get a little bit more MAM research done. It actually looks like I've got a hard drive here that's ready to come out, so we will dive into that here right away. So sit back, relax, and let's jump into it. So first things first, let's have a look at this hard drive that we had got here. We do have some alternate recipes for making concrete, which is silica and limestone, which I don't think that's necessarily a great combination to go with. And then an alternate blueprint for pure Caterium ingots, which I'm not sure about this one either, where it's 2 Caterium ore and then water run through a refinery. And then we have an alternate blueprint for fused quickwire, which is 1 Caterium ingot and 5 copper ingots gets us 12. That's actually, a pretty good return on what you're getting in there. That might not be a bad alternate for getting quickwire, but I mean, we've got tons of quickwire happening right now, so I'll select this one just because that seems like a pretty good use of resources. So, all right, so the next little bit of research I want to dive into is under the quartz tree, and it is Signal Technologies, and that is with the oscillators. I did set up a quick assembler just off to the side here that I've been manually loading some items in, just so that we could start to get these processed out, and we're going to start that research. And that's, of course, only a 3-second research. Doesn't take too long to get there. And then next is we have frequency mapping, so I think this unlocks the map for us. We need 10 beacons and 10 oscillators, which I still have the oscillators getting made for us, so we'll be able to get that here right away. And then we also get the Explorer, which is going to be 100 of the modular frames and 10 more oscillators. So we're going to just let our oscillator production run here for a bit and get those cranked out. I'm still kind of chipping away at getting the black powder done to be able to unlock the sulfur tree. And really, there's not much other than Caterium where we need to be... I need to, chip away at getting some of this smart research done so that we can get our splitters done and supercomputers and power switch. So there's still a few more things there that we need to be manufacturing. Okay, so we have the next little bit of MAM research to do. So we're just going to come over here, E, and we're going to quartz. And this is going to be for frequency mapping. I do have 10 oscillators and 10 of the beacons. Start research. That's going to take 5 minutes for that to complete. And then next we'll be working towards getting the Explorer done. And I also have, I think I've got everything I need to be able to get the Smart Splitter done. And that looks to be about all I can get done here soon. So we'll wait till this one completes, and then we'll get the Smart Splitter done, and then the Explorer done as well. So one other thing that I decided while I'm kind of waiting for some research and stuff to finish that we needed to get built is a manufacturing process for some AI limiters. I'm not going to need like a whole pile. I don't think I'm going to need a whole pile of them, but it's something that I'm going to need on a regular basis. So I've taken a feed of quickwire over to this assembler, and then we brought up some excess copper sheeting from the line that we're making the circuit. I think it's the circuit boards that's down there. So that's coming up here and getting fed into this assembler, and it's only making 5 AI limiters per minute, but it's enough to just kind of get by with when we need them. So that is a quick little assembly there. It's just something that's going to run in the background. It's not efficient. It's not running really fast, but it should provide just enough, and we can always expand this later on if we needed to. Okay, so we do have that one research done, and as you can see now, we have a map that we can zoom in and see, I believe, everything that we're kind of working on here. There's a lot of like big black areas yet that aren't really discovered. Additional powers there. We are right here. Now I'm wondering if this actually shows like our setup. This is the first I've dove into the map here at all and seen what's going on. So there's my sulfur and my pure quartz. We have our bauxite and our additional power. There is also a coal node up here as well too. Pure Caterium node is way over there. However, I don't think that's the one I'm pulling from, because I'm pulling from one that's just over by the elevator here. So it's going to be nice now that we can see, okay, what haven't we explored yet? And as you can see, we really haven't explored a lot of this map at all. So there's still tons more that we could be exploring and checking out here for sure. The next bit of research we're going to dive into is now the smart splitters. So we're going to start that research, which was the AI limiters, and then it's like reinforced plate or something like that was needed for it. It's another 5 minutes on there. Smart splitters are going to be nice because it will give us the ability to set like overflows on things instead of it. Right now I'm just using regular splitters to handle overflow, but it'll be nice with the smart splitters. You can say, you know what, keep filling this until it's full, and then once it's full, send the overflow out of the splitter. And so it's going to handle sending things to our awesome sink a lot easier. Alright, while waiting for additional research, I slapped together another quick little spaghetti mess of assembly here. So we put a splitter now in on this quick wire line, and we haven't run into this assembler. We're then also put a splitter over here, and we're pulling some circuit boards into the assembler as well. And then coming off of our cable storage, I brought an elevator up and another conveyor around that's feeding into here. And this is making our high-speed connectors. So now we have a manufacturing assembly line for being able to make high-speed connectors and AI limiters, all of which are going to be needed to help us with our future research that's happening here. Okay, let's turn in some research. The analysis of smart splitters is now complete. We can now manufacture smart splitters. Now if we continue on the Caterium line, this is AI limiters and steel, which we actually have already on us. So we can get the main power switch that we can put in line, and we can shut systems on and off with it. So we're going to start that research. Next will be supercomputers, which is the high-speed connectors, as well as AI limiters, which we have been manufactured. So we'll be able to get that research done. And then we're coming down to programmable splitters. That's going to be supercomputers and heavy modular frames. Well, we don't have any manufacturing for supercomputers yet because A, we still need to learn it. And this one here isn't unlocked to us yet, so we're not entirely sure what this is going to be. But we are making some significant progress here. The other thing, too, on the quartz side of things is I do have everything I need for this, but I've got to wait for our research to complete. And then, yeah, it's just a matter of cranking out a whole bunch of oscillators and getting some more of the beacons to be able to get radar technology done. And then radio signal scanning is another one that we can taken care of. But it's all just comes down to oscillators getting made and whatnot. So I might end up having to convert more. Like, I'm still on a temporary assembly right now for the oscillators. I might need to step this into an actual real production line. All right, the MAM research is complete. The analysis of the power switch is completed. Let us move on. And you know what? I did go over and we did have enough of the black powder, so we can research black powder. That's done. That now unlocks for us, what do we got here? The Novelist explosive, which just needs some more of the black powder and some steel pipe. Then we have the detonator, which requires 5 object scanners, bunch of copper wire, and encased industrial steel beams. What else we got? The rifle, which is circuit boards and I think that's circuit boards. Yep, circuit boards, heavy modular frames, and steel pipe, all of which are being manufactured. And then rifle cartridges, which is a bunch more black powder and stuff. Well, I don't have enough sulfur right now to be able to pull that off. So we're gonna, at least they're unlocked. We know what we've got coming up for the sulfur line. Okay, let's go back now to quartz. And this is going to get us our Explorer, which is one of our first vehicles here. So let's start exploring that. And we'll be able to cruise around a little bit. We've got to make sure we keep fuel with us for it. But other than that, I mean, that's going to be making it easier for us to travel around the map rather than having to run everywhere where we've been going. So that is a significant upgrade. I'm a long ways away from the oscillators. We might be grinding to a halt here pretty quick. Deuterium, I can get this done. I'm just waiting for some more of the high-speed connectors to be done, and then we will get the supercomputers unlocked. So we'll be right back. Alright, research for the Explorer is now complete. I believe under Alien Organism there's another quick research that we can do, and that's our object scanner improvements. We're going to click that. Let's get that underway. That one was a quick one, and then there is one more, hostile organism detection, which this is just going to take a little bit. You know what? I bet you we even have everything we need sitting in our chest right here for this. So there's that one, and this one, and then that will complete our alien organism research. 100% done. So that is all taken care of. So now we'll be able to object scan for any of the hostile creatures that are around. Back to Deuterium, I still need some more. Let's see how we're doing on the AI limiters. We've got them started over here. Hopefully I have enough power to get across this. We just made it. Oh yeah, we should have enough now. Not a problem. So we'll quickly whip back over to the man here. Grab our quartz. No, sorry, it wasn't under quartz. It was Cateria research we were doing. Supercomputers. Supercomputers are now unlocked. That's another quick one that got done. Confirm. Next will be, we need a whole bunch more high-speed connectors for being able to get the Mark III power poles. And then we need the supercomputers for that one. We need supercomputers for the geothermal generators as well, too. So we've got, you know what? I did come across one of those geysers. I didn't know what they were for. Apparently they're for geothermal generators, of which I'm going to have to try to figure out where that geyser was. Make sure I mark that so that we can come back and put a thermal generator there. So, you know, bit by bit, we're getting really close. Like, Alien Organism now is 100% researched. We are sitting at 81% on Deuterium. Mycelium, I think, is 100% done. Nutrients is 100% done. Power Slugs is 100% done. Quartz, we are now at 78%, so there's still 2 more things to unlock there. And then, of course, we've got our sulfur tree, which we haven't really been paying too much attention to. But other than that, that's research. So let's start diving into our Tier 7 as soon as I get back onto the ground here. Tier 7 milestones. If we look at here, hazmat suit, we need to make the aluminum casing, and aeronautic engineer also needs aluminum casing, as well as radio control units. So there's 2 different manufacturing lines that we're going to have to get built for being able to get this complete. So let's dive into that now. All right, before we get too carried away on diving into the aluminum casing manufacturing, I just want to go through, I made some modifications to things over here now to kind of improve the efficiencies of our aluminum manufacturing. So I did modify my water situation here to make sure that they were definitely coming from a higher point than our water that's coming out of our alumina solution and aluminum scrap manufacturing. So this is taking priority 1 now, definitely. And I did clean up. There was some clipping that was happening that I've got cleaned up that isn't happening anymore now. So basically we're coming out with the water here. I have put some valves online here to make sure that the fluid only flows in one direction. And then the water is coming out of here as well. And if we go down below, you can have a look here. I did put a valve in here as well too, forcing the water to only flow this way, so that these are always pulling from that. And I've had no slowdowns now here whatsoever. All of the water is getting pulled out of here, and then the rest of the water is coming from the 2 pumps. Then I did take a feed of quartz. Now, I do have about 120 items per minute of quartz coming down this way that is getting turned into silica. That silica, because to be able to manufacture all of the aluminum scrap that we've been making, we needed like 300 silica to be able to do that. Well, this setup over here was only producing 100, so I needed to bring another 200 in from over here. And to get 200 is I did have to overclock one of the constructors over here to like 133%. And that's got us pretty close to, we're like 0.12 away from items per minute away from 200 items per minute coming out of here. Not enough to really significantly impact the overall production. So then we have 4 of these boundaries that are now making our aluminum ingots. So all the aluminum ingots are coming down here. We have some going into storage, and then if storage is full, it then all dumps into our awesome zinc. Eventually I will change that to an awesome, or a smart splitter, so that, or even this one here as a smart splitter, and I could guarantee then that everything just gets straight to the awesome zinc if this is full. And then of course we do have our smelters here that's taking care of the copper line that I have coming down here, so that we have the manufacturing of our Alcad sheeting. And the Alcad aluminum sheeting, we're doing all right with it. Like I can definitely step this up. I've got more than enough production now. I want to say, what are we sitting at? We're getting 240 aluminum out of here now, aluminum ingots, where before I did this redesign, we were maybe hitting 80. So our efficiency for the aluminum ingots is significantly higher now. So this is the kind of the change that I did over here to make this more efficient, and it was all based off of comments from Ron, who had said, you know what, you're definitely going to need some more silica, double check your fluid, and he actually has a really good video on his channel. I'll put a link of it in the description on representing how fluid priority works, because it's not just a combination of head lift and which is the lower feed, because if you've got some of the water pumps and stuff in there, but his video does a really good job of explaining it. So I'll put a link in that in the description of this one for sure. So now it's time to get our aluminum casing manufactured. All right, aluminum casing was ridiculously easy to be able to add into our production facility over here. So basically I slapped down a splitter out front here. We're running a line into a constructor. Constructor is set to aluminum casing, and then the aluminum casing is just getting moved into this storage here. Boom, aluminum casing is now manufactured. So now it's just a matter of waiting for this to kind of stockpile a little bit for us so that we can go and turn in some milestones. Okay, so our aluminum casings have been manufacturing away, and we have enough now to turn in our hazmat suit. Let's select this. We have aluminum casing, we have quick wire, and we have, where's my filters? There's the filters right there. Launch away, we now can make a hazmat suit.
Milestone reached. With the new hazmat suit and iodine-infused filters, you will be protected against uranium-based radiation.
So that's getting us steps closer to being able to get to nuclear power. The next thing we want to dive into is the last milestone for Tier 7, which is aeronautical engineering, which is going to be a bunch of casing, which we already got. The Alcad aluminum sheets, which we already have. Motors, they're getting manufactured. That's not a problem. We got lots of access to that. And then radio-controlled units. So we're going to have to be able to get this up and manufacturing. And what does it require? It requires aluminum casing, a crystal oscillator, and a computer system to be able to get that built. So let's go build a manufacturing process for that. Okay, like I had mentioned earlier, we were going to need to get an assembly line in here for being able to make the crystal oscillators. So basically, I've taken from my quartz storage here, it's running into a constructor that's then getting turned into quartz crystals that are being fed into this assembler that is being combined with the copper cabling, as well as some reinforced iron plating. That is making crystal oscillators, of which I have a small little pile of them just coming in. If we need to grab some that we need to manufacture anything with, they're going into storage. And then they're also coming over to a radio controlled unit assembly. So in this assembler, we have, of course, the crystal oscillators being fed in. I have a feed from our computers coming down and coming into here as well. And then I've brought a conveyor all the way from our aluminum manufacturing with the aluminum casing that's wrapping around and coming in and loading up right in here. So then these all exit out. At this end, we have 48 of the radio controlled units built so far. I don't have a storage unit. We could quickly put a little storage unit down here for these just so that they're... I mean, not that it's ever going to back up because it's such a slow manufacturing process, but we'll slap this down for now. I'll throw a quick conveyor out into this just so there is some place for these to be stored. So I think I still need another 2 out of this yet before we're ready to go. So we're just going to wait for these to finish manufacturing, and then we'll be able to step out our final tier for Tier 7. Alright, we've gathered everything up. Let's head over to the hub, Aeronautical Engineering. We're selecting this milestone. In goes the motors. There are 300 motors it requires, which is, wow, that's a lot of motors for that. And then 50 of the computers. And then 100 of the Alcad aluminum sheeting. And then 200 of the aluminum casting. Launch away. Tier 7 is now complete.
Milestone reached. Aerial transport of resources is now possible with the use of drones, ideal for shipping across long distances or difficult terrain. Ensure the presence of batteries at drone ports for optimal results. A new project part enables progress to the next phase.
Alrighty, so now it's a matter of getting set up to work on milestones for Tier 8, and that is going to be nuclear power, advanced aluminum production, leading edge productions, and particle enrichment. But we're going to save those to start chipping away on the next episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed what we've done here so far. Let's just do a quick little recap. We revamped the aluminum manufacturing facility to make it more efficient and got aluminum casing manufacturing over on that far side and brought back this way. We have also created manufacturing for our AI limiters and also our high-speed connectors. So we now have manufacturing for those two automating components. We automated the crystal oscillator manufacturing, and we automated the control unit, and that's going to hurt. Ooh, we lived. I thought for sure I was going to die there. We automated the control unit as well, the radio control unit. That's where we're at right now. We've made some significant progress. It was a lot of little smaller manufacturing processes, but all in all, I think it came together quite nicely. With that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Reach down, hit the like button on the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Ring that notification bell so you can be notified when we have the next video up. And follow me on social media, Instagram and Twitter at TerrasDWDC. With that said, guys, we'll catch you in the next one. See ya.